Ladies and gentlemen, who is ready for some more dystopian sci-fi drone action? I'll tell you at least one person, it's your old pal Bacter, and there's probably at least two, because you're here as well. Let's roll. If you remember from last time, we had a not unmitigated success in building up our drone dream team, and while they're pretty good now, I'd still really like to be able to show off the, the gun that we're hopefully going to be getting at some point in time here. Here we are in this new galaxy, fresh with just a lot going on here. There's a space station with a quarantine on it. We've got some barges, some salvage ships, some government, new techie, and private ships. So, without really further ado, let's get on to the Mohawk here. We've got one infestation type. Everybody is looking reasonably healthy. It looks like Silicon Haven took a little, I'm guessing, what is radiation damage. And maybe let's just review our scrap right now. We've got 13 scrap. It might be worth it to repair, so let's actually do that. I know I'm just basically going to end up regretting it later if we don't, so there we go. Alright, that being said, let's roll. We did have to scrap one of our drones last time, which was a bit of a bummer. Okay, no communications this time, but look at what we have found. There's a ship upgrade in here. Our string of luck continues. Should really probably change around who goes where, because having our guys in the back... Ah, that's a bummer. We've got a communications terminal in here, but it appears to be somewhat down for the count. Okay. Another power terminal in here. So let's turn that on. Isn't that R6? Never mind. Oh, is it remote R6? How about that? No? Weird. Oh, I only have the quarantine bypass on. My mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we'll be going without that this time. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. We will proceed with that. So there wasn't too much of interest back in room 1 down there. Just goes to show you that a little care never goes too far off. We're going to close off A1 because, you know, again, in the worst case, we're going to want to scuttle everything and get away from here with our 2 drones in there. Sending Curiosity up into D12. Okay, and there we go. This will let us turn on the stealth on our friend Curiosity and send him in. Let's see if we can find what this infestation type is. We don't know if it's an old or a new one yet, but we know it doesn't look like it's in here. So let's get our charge back up a little bit. It might be nice to explore laterally a little bit before going to that lovely center room there. And looks like we're pretty much back up to snuff. So in we rush. Ah, here we have it. And it looks like the infestation type du jour is the organic types. Okay, well, if he... yeah. Let's degauss there. Away he goes. Okay, let's close D6. And let's flag R8, because we know the guy's in there. So... it's just good policy to... ooh, wow, no fuel. That's kind of a bummer. It's just good policy to have... oh, there was some scrap, at least. To have... excuse me. To have the stealth stuff, the stealth capabilities on your collector robots, because... really, otherwise, I mean, if we had a full combat drone, if we had gun, I might have tried it out there or something. And in fact, just for the sake of it, I may, like, swap out at some point. Okay, that's an alternative entry point, so that's good to see. Still nothing much down here. For a B-class ship, I gotta say, this is, well, not disappointing, because nothing that's boring is ever strictly disappointing, but not thrilling so far. And in fact, this audio that you're hearing may be part of the bonus extra bit, what I'm thinking of doing... Oh, that's a bit of a bummer, isn't it? Man, I wish I had brought the remote bypass, but or the remote power, but that's fine. Let's send him to R6. Turn on that power. Okay. Now, let's open up D10. Close D22. Again, there's no real reason to close stuff because I know that we have the organic threat in here. I know, basically, that we're not going to encounter anybody that's going to sneak around, so he will stay in R8, unless he chooses to attack a door, which I believe that organic enemies are perfectly capable of doing. Okay, close D10, head over here, up to this other power point. As I was saying earlier, I might be cutting out this vessel. The only thing I don't like about this is I'm going to have to basically... Yeah. If somebody was waiting and like, see, look at that, there absolutely was a guy in here. Okay. This is where stealth comes in yet again. What's in here, my boy? Oh, there's... Boy, are there just jerks aplenty around here. How about in here? Oh, there's an open door, isn't there? We are at 30% stealth, so this could get a little funny. That said, we are okay. Okay, let's try to quarantine that off there. So, we've got potentially jerks waiting for us in R4 and R5. Now, the problem with killing them is that we don't know that it's going to be worth it. If you've got those mechanical enemies, you at least get a scrap back for any energy you spend killing them. That said, though, I may want to try using a trap, and I will do that if I can make it back with curiosity back to... Whoa, how are we doing? Okay. This happens every so once in a while. Where the video signal from a certain drone just kind of goes down. Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know what that sound is. It means we are getting the flip out of here. Okay. We got our signal back. Oh. Okay. Okay, that could be worse. I see where that is. I don't care about it. I've still got my stealth on, which is groovy. Okay, that vent in here would be trouble later. But what do you have? Tow and sensor, two very good ones. I might get sensor because I'm going to need that for a later thing. Okay, so let's get it. R9 is sealed off, so that's fine. We know that there's nobody in here, obviously. So go 1, R1. Now, then, let's send 3. Silicon Heaven, unfortunately, had some troubling sensor difficulties. That just means we're going to have to blow some scrap fixing it. Boy, you get used to those speed updates, don't you? Okay, R9 is now just completely butzo. That said, that's not too big of an issue. I'm only getting these upgrades here, swapping them both off of Jill, because I have the time for it. Alright, swap off tow, and rescue, save, forget which one of the two it is, and now, go with 4, to R2. We're just going to give that a little shot here. Oh, Silicon Heaven is having trouble properly connecting, so let's take it over. Oh, unfortunately, this ship upgrade is firmly installed. What was it? It was a transporter. Well, that's a bit of a bummer, because that is a real nice upgrade that lets us get to a certain class of things that we can't get to yet. Nevertheless, it is firmly installed. Somebody was noting before that I gave up a transport module, and I believe that was for a ship, not for for drones, not for a ship, rather. So Let's swipe off this last sensor here. Okay. And, no. End. Alright, that's all the modules, and we are free to leave. As soon as old 4 gets it. Boom. Oh, no. Who's not in the docking bay? Oh, 3. For heaven's sake, Silicon Heaven, what are you doing out there? Thank goodness for the warning messages. Because, man, I did not want to lose a drone. Okay. There we go. And away we go. So, I was saying earlier, if indeed I go through my plans, I think I probably will have cut out this ship because nothing especially notable happened in it. Nevertheless, just note that nobody really took any damage. There were a whole bunch of organics on here. We got a little bit of scrap, really no fuel, which was a bit of a bummer. And that was that. So, now we have but to sell off the upgrades we got in the last one. I think the tow we found is a little busto, but a little tiny bit better than the one that we had. I'm going to keep sensor because sensor can be very useful for later missions. That'll get me 3 scrap though, and one of these drones here, Silicon Heaven, unfortunately needs an expensive repair to the video signal. So it goes. It is worth it to not have his video signal just go right out in the middle of everything. Okay, a salvage class A. My word, this will be quite a ship probably. Okay, interface and tow, and we have sensor as well. Sensor is like a single room, just monitoring software kind of thing. And in fact, I want teleporter, or I want teleporting curiosity. I'm going to try it out this mission. But sensor, I think we will. Yeah, we'll keep it, and maybe I'll demo it if the need arises. Basically, you drop sensor in a room, and then there is no like yellow with it. With motion, you can either tell where somebody is or you can't. You can get a green, which means there is a monster, or there's no monster. A red, which means there is definitely a monster, or yellow, which just means they don't know. Sensor always knows, and it is green or red. I think unless you cloak the sensors, some enemies will attack them, which is, of course, kind of a bummer. We have to do our fancy little dance there in the beginning. And we are on and powered up, and oh my goodness, did I forget to put remote power on the ship yet again? I did, ladies and gentlemen, I did. Okay. Well, regardless, we will muscle our way on. Oh, wow! The wealth of this ship. I've heard somebody comment already about the obscene amount of luck that I've had. Whoa! 2 drones. Did I take sensor with me? I did, and I'm going to end up regretting it. Oh, well. Let's see. What do you have, my boy? Probe? Probe is nice. In fact, we may be showing off probe this time. And you have both stun and stealth. A stun mine, it does pretty much what you would think. And a free stealth is, of course, very welcome. And how about this upgrade? It looks like it's fixed in place. Yes, it is firmly in place, and it's quarantine bypass, so not spectacular necessarily. You know what, though? Pinky has enough space to take a lot of stuff on, doesn't he? Well, regardless, we're going to send Silicon Heaven down here to grip one of these at least, and I think we're going to grip probe. That's what we're going to grip. So, that being said, yeah, let's release the little sucker. And look at his little smiley face. And this is what he does. He goes around and scans rooms. There is an upgrade you can get for Probe which stealths him, which I would highly recommend, because it means that he is able to not be seen by enemies, basically, and that is always worthwhile. As it is, he's basically just a... because I don't want to get him killed by sending him away. As it is, he's basically just a free scan in every room, which is very nice. Nevertheless, this is a... Whoa, hey, okay. There is a man right there. Can I swap out and put like a trap down or something. I think that is worthwhile. Who's got our traps? Rock has our traps. Rock, swap with me, my boy. Swap out teleport for a trap. Alright. Let us give this a shot. Okay. D22 closed up. Incidentally, we got 2 infestation types on here, so no guesses. It's probably the organic and the biological. You know, the organic and the guy we just saw. Okay, let's turn on our stealth. See if he will come up. Oh, does he have to do something to it? Does it only handle organics or something? Well, that's a bit of a disappointment. Alright, well, if any dirty organic enemies come up through here, then they'll see the business end of that. I apologize. I thought traps would take out those guys too. Unless there is a different way to handle traps, like unless I type it again and then it goes off or something. Let me check on that real quick. Don't want to self-destruct for sure. Let's look up trap here. Trap, and trap boom detonates all detonated traps, damaging anything within room. See, this is why it's good to check these things, isn't it? So here's a different idea. Let's hide ourselves. Let's open the door. I confess, traps are not something I have used all that much. And now, door is closed, and there we go. Did that actually kill the guy? It did. Great. Lovely. And I think everything else is okay in here, actually. Is it not? Yes. And, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have an open terminal here in this room, which is not powered as of yet, so we will have to find the power on for this before it becomes worthwhile. I'd say there was... Do I have to do trap pickup? I guess you can only pick up unexploded ones. Makes a certain amount of sense, doesn't it? Okay. Well, that little kerfuffle dealt with. Let's check out this here room. Looks like the edge of the ship yet again. Again, well, I know we have another infestation type in here. Okay, there's another power outlet. Good to see. Let's open up D20 as well and D22. All that so that our friendly little guy can get around there and scan everything. If he can be of especial use on later levels, because like one thing that you can do is program in a command which opens every door and then like immediately slams all the ones where all of your drones are, and then just like it sends the probe out and he scans every room. And the nice thing about that is it shows you where all of the resources are in the level. Okay, asteroid collision in 2 minutes with room R2 with a 70% chance of being hit, ladies and gentlemen. Tell you what, we will get some further updates as this moves, I am sure. Get in there, little guy. But we now have, may I say, somewhat of a more urgent set of tasks before us. And, okay, nobody of interest is in here, so now let's be about the business of moving. Whose interface? That is 3. No, but that's just generally the right way, so that's fine. And we also want to be gathering the fuel and the whatever from here. Okay, ship scan. Nothing. We got 1 J fuel, which could be worse because I don't think that means we can go to any of the other ships in this sector, unfortunately, but hopefully we can jump around someplace. Tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we will get another warning before the asteroid hits room R2, but, at least I think we will. But I know that there's other guys on this ship, so oh, there's another guy, and some scrap in this room, so that's good to see. Okay. Actually... Oh, what? Oh! Did I just flat out run? I did. And I broke the terminal in that room, too. Shame on me. Okay, well, my stealth is back on, so that's good. Fortunately, I was able to drop the trap in time. Comedy of errors, this game. Okay, he didn't drop anything. I don't actually know that there was nothing else in here, by the way. Oh, that door broke. That was the other thing that happened. Okay. Basically, I just want to get to where... Okay. Boy, that meteor's got to be coming soon. It has not been, forever since I heard that warning, has it? Okay, there is, yeah. So, let's go here with you. And then... let's dock... Whoa! Wow. Okay. Oh, this is bad. I think we may actually lose that drone. Yep. Totally toast. Oh no, our best drone. I really thought we were gonna get another warning. Oh my... Alright. Alright. Well, we've learned a valuable lesson here, ladies and gentlemen, and that lesson is we are out of this ship. Yeah, let's go. Yes, yes, I am aware that there's a lootable detected drone, but boy, am I not going back in there. Oh, our favorite drone. Bummer. Well, we're going to need to get another gather, and soon, ladies and gentlemen. There's nowhere else we can go in this sector, unfortunately. I was hoping we could find ourselves some salvage, but it's not to be. There is another Stargate in here, and we do have an auto trade center. So in the meantime, let's look at our drone configurations. We need to fix interface. We can probably, since he had our probe, didn't he? That's a bummer. Okay, oh no, he's got our probe right here. We've got a generator. We've got interface. So really, all we need is, I think Rock has got the speed boost, and so we're going to pull sensor off of Rock, and we're also going to pull lure off of Rock. Let's see what modifications we can make. We can get a gather for 8 scrap. Wow, that is our full total of scrap, which is a bit of a bummer, but so it goes. Man, I really thought something else was going to happen there. Okay, so let's put gather on him. So we've got, what do we have? We have sensor. It is sort of a poor man's version of a lot of the other good ones, so I'd love to find another drone. What are we on here? This is a Muteki C, so we'll try to clear this out, 2 infestation types, and then we'll hit that trading post. Alright, let's see. I really thought we were going to get, like, a, minute warning and then a 10-second warning. That said, I'm glad I started thinking of it just before time. And matter of fact, I know I'm not going to much care for this lure because it's kind of... Actually, let me see if I can get any more for it at the Auto Trade Center. Okay, interface is a bit broken, but we can still maybe make it work, assuming it's still there to be working. Well, there we go. We've got a new thing for Muteki, and oh, sweet munificence. We've still got our tow in place. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can't make some kind of magic happen then, huh? We've got a bunch of scrap and an empty upgrade slot in there. Now, the thing that's bad, it should go without saying, I imagine. Oh. I'm hearing some noises that I don't much care for. Sounds like somebody may be moving around. Okay. Since this is sort of a long, narrow hallway, let's move Rock out of the way, and let's send Silicon Heaven up to see here. Now, if everything is great in the world, there will be some ship defenses on here. There are. Okay. You know what? I actually don't know where the defenses are, so what we are going to do is an old trick where we just, like, open up all of the doors and just kind of, like, hang out for a second and see if anybody gets deadified. I think we can say for sure that there aren't any ship defense. There we go. R4 has got some defenses in them, and they've killed one of the creatures. So we don't need to close, let's close D9, and it would just be so great. Did I not put remote power yet again? Ugh. Really also wish I knew what that exterior thumping was. That would just be great. Okay, let me look at the map here. Yes, we have all of the doors to our great room closed, and R4, which, as far as we know, is the thing with the defenses in there. So let's send Silicon Heaven back up, and let's just, what I'm going to try to do is open the room, drop a sensor in. I'm going to have my... Yes, looks like it doesn't care about anything. I kind of figured that there wasn't going to be anybody active in here, but boy am I glad to see it. Okay, it looks like we have a towable ship upgrade. You can tell because the crosses aren't quite aligned, so... Let's send in Silicon Heaven here, and let's begin to gather. And thank heavens for this savable drone. What do you have on you? Pry and pry. Okay, pry is actually pretty good. So, save or rescue? It's safe. Okay, we don't have to buy a new drone again. That's great. We get a replacement for ours, because, boy, are we kind of light on scrap. And buying new drones is not really what I'd care to be in the business of. So, what do we have in here? An overload. No, we have remote power. Well, that's a duplicate, but that is fine to sell. Believe me, I have no trouble selling that. Okay, and get the ship upgrade back there. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do just for safety's sake is go back to room R3 because we have our sensor in here. We've got sort of an eye in the sky as far as that goes. These narrow hallways are where the drones really have trouble navigating. So let's just drop you off. Okay, you are dropped off. And you can see that even if, so we're going to open up D7, D8, and D9. You can see, as I say, that even... What's this one in here? I think it's just a slot. That even if a module is quote-unquote broken, like this one is, not comfortable with that sound, so let's shut that. And... Okay. I think what this means is that... Okay, the defenses are now deactivated. I think what this means is that these rooms ought to be safe, but it doesn't. Oh, go. Oh, go. Go, go, go. Okay, wow. Yeah, it just meant he hadn't worked his way down there yet. As you can see, the sensor was triggered because the angry man went in there. Okay, I would love if there was a way that I could corral him a bit better, because R4 is where all of this this fuss is going on. am I going to do this? Okay. Well, we know he's not in that room right now, right? Well, what we can do is drop a probe, open up D11, close A1. Oh, there was a lot of scrap in here, too. That's very nice. It's a nice bonus. Again, we are scrap poor. Okay. And uh-oh. Okay. Let's just get... no. Let's get everybody... Yes, I am sorry about that. Oh, I left the ship defense on. That's a bummer. Yeah. Okay, I don't see any evidence that there's anything in here left worth risking our hides for, so we are getting the flip out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Not a bad ship at all. Okay, we got another drone, importantly. We got 2 Pry modules, so we can sell one of them. I said I would talk about them, and so I will. Here we go. But first, let's enter the auto trader. Okay. So we can sell the Pry module here. That's very good. We're up to 13. Lure wasn't spectacularly useful, so let's go ahead and sell that. This Pry is even more broken. We need to fix interface for sure. We need to fix tow, because I want that for darn sure. How about upgrades? You have sensor... I don't really have that. Okay. How about ship upgrades, reroute power, and you have some propulsion fuel and some jump fuel. I think we're going to be saving that wherever we can. So, yeah, do we want to... Well, we want to keep our probe, I would think, because that little guy has been so useful. And the sensor actually served us really well, too. What I'd really love at this point, and what I don't think I'm going to get necessarily, is either a motion detector or stealth, something to make up for our detection capabilities. We can kind of halfway do it with our probes and with sensors, and that's what we're going to have to do for now, I think. Gather is looking good. The rest of the stuff is going to need repaired sooner rather than later, so I hope there's plenty of scrap for us to find else out there. We can always sell or scrap Pry if it comes right down to it, and it may indeed. Okay, for heaven's sake, let's get remote power back up in there. Oh, and as long as we're talking that, yeah, there's like 2 remote powers, so I'm going to... Can I not scrap the one of these? Do you not have enough? It doesn't have enough scrap left for me to do that. Well, then never mind. I'm going to save it, and we'll try to work our way to this other auto trader here. So what do we got here? We got a private class C, a Muteki B, government A, medical C. Well, and there's a Stargate down here that I'd like to get to. I wish I could know what's on here on this auto trader, whether that was worth it or not. We could, of course, always go down to the medical C, because we need to go to more medical ships, and then start looking at this other Stargate around here. But what do we have? We have other stuff in range and other Stargates, so I don't see the need to go gallivanting off necessarily to other Stargates. So let's instead, yeah, we'll hit up this second auto trader just to try to get a bunch of scrap, and then we can hopefully buy a one propulsion fuel. I could have gambled on there being some on this Muteki B, but I'm just not much in the gambling mood right now. Motion detector, yes, flipping please, yes please, this motion detector. Okay, now we will sell one of our remote powers that we absolutely do not need. We still need to fix interface and tow. Those will be fixed. And that's that. Don't have any propulsion fuel to buy, which is a bit of a bummer, but I will tell you that it was more than worth it from my point of view. Now, it's going to take 10 scrap to fix him up, and I think that's fine, because I'm going to want 4 drones again. We will be picking Ethan's name from the list, of course, so I'll tell you what his name is at the end of the update here. And then we need a bunch of scrap to fix these 2. And so hopefully we will be getting that very shortly. Okay, well, let's use one of our precious jumpy fuels, and we'll go over here to the Stargate, where there are 9 objects, and we still have enough to get to either one of the other 2 galaxies, so we're not completely out of options. You can see that the galaxy is quite large, but here we are on New Moon, and I think this will probably be the last of the update here. Oh, get on over there, you. Whoop. Okay, what do I want? I want to make, like, select you, and so that's, alright, you know what? I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but whatever. That's how I did it. Okay, so we want our, actually, we do want this, right? We want our gatherer and our generator in the third and fourth spot, it looks like, I think, or no, first and second is gatherer and generator. Here's our probe and pry, and our pry man, our gatherer, we are not going to give sensor anymore to, but we are going to give motion to, because motion is great, and it's the other major way of telling where enemies are, and we'll be able to show it off more now. Sensor is gone. Okay, let's see what we got. We have not had a boring time yet, and here we go. Okay, we've got a new course of action. Very good indeed. We'll be reviewing those later. And another drone in here, lovely. Everything is turning up aces. And finally, I flipping put remote power on us, so, you know, that's good and all. There we go. And, oh, there's even an interface in here, isn't there? So let's loose the probe. They're not really too much to replace. They kind of, typically in a regular ship, will make up for themselves in terms of extra scrap they find. So let's send you out here. Honestly, in terms of things that can break, and let's plug you in. Okay. Would have been a bit nicer if there was actually a defense on here, but so it goes. Okay, in terms of things to break, as I was saying, the interface really isn't that bad. It just usually means like it has a chance to fail every time you use it, and typically interfaces aren't time critical. Obviously, if you have something like stealth, that's a bit more of a bummer. So here we can see motion can actually make exploring a bit faster. Sometimes, ooh, oh, that wasn't what I wanted to have happen. That door is open. Sometimes you get little fun surprises like that. So I know that D14 and D24 are... Green is good, as I say. Green means everything is happy. And I think if there was a monster, he would have moved from his perch by this point, hopefully. Yep. Okay, and actually... we can remote power that sucker, can't we? Let's see what kind of fuel we have here. Okay, wow, one of each. Not bad. No. I seriously did it. I sold the one we put on here. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I thank you most generously for sticking by me, even in these trying times. Okay, what else we got? Okay, we know that everything is good up there, so that's very nice. And I believe that we knew that these two rooms over here were both good, so let's go and explore. Hearing some troubling noises, as usual. Let's open up this door, and this door as well, to give our probe time to go around and exploring here. And look at that! We knew that, we discovered that there is a bad monster in room R2, which I guess should have probably been guessable, because that's where, you know, all the good stuff is, or at least that's where a portion of the good stuff is. However, with motion, we can easily handle this trouble by just opening door D12 here. Waiting for him to exit, which he will do in time. There we go. Boop. Okay. Now we just move. Oh, go 3R1. How about that? And rather than move him all the way through the ship, I'm just going to dock at A4. Yes, that means you too, little droney. And look, some free scrap that we just found there. So, okay. And we'll send everybody up here. We know that the monster is in here, unfortunately. So, wonder what's on this drone. And there is apparently also a monster there in D10, which is a bit of a bummer. So we've got jerks on both sides. So let's stop towing. And let's dock back at A1. And what are we going to do now? What I'd really like is to be able to handle both of those guys both at once. And I know what we're going to do. We're going to send you back to R9. I'm going to be moving them out of the airlock, as you might expect. The bummer with not getting stealth is I don't know if it's like a new enemy. I suspect that it's not. Okay. D12. So motion makes this more of an overhead kind of game, as you can see. I'm doing much more just, looking at things from the tactical map point of view. Okay, D12 is closed, A4, whoop. The real danger with this is that you can break doors if you expose them to the vacuum, you can break terminals. Any scrap that's in the room is flung out into the abyss of space, which can be a bummer. There we go. Okay, close that, and whoop. Okay. I think that means we ought to be able to explore both of these areas just fine. And, yep, empty upgrade slot, something less than really inspiring there. And what do we have in here? Not really much, but I don't know what we should have been expecting. And D17 here, looks like it's free and clear. Interface in there, but not really a whole lot else. So, it looks like really the only places for me to go are the bottom right corner of the ship over there. I did get some nice fuel off of here. This is probably, after that first bit, this is probably prime fodder, again, for, you'll only be seeing this if you're watching the uncut version. Okay, close that. What do we think? D14 looks good. So I'll just pop in here. Okay. Well, that's quite something, isn't it? Airlock integrity failing is always a fun time. Drone 2. Lost video signal 4. That doesn't mean exploded, though, right? Yes, indeed. Alright. I don't know why I didn't see that one for a while, but, okay. Let's get you on out of there. And, actually, I think it might be time for us to kind of, get going. There could be something cool in the recesses down there, but, I'm not convinced enough of it. So let's just beat a retreat. Not bad. My current ship is taking where? Consider trying to commandeer a vessel. I will consider it. So we've got a fuel depot, which will be cool, and we've got salvage, and we've got techie. Ooh, and we've got a quarantine up here. So there's all kinds of stuff we could do to continue on. That said, I think we've gotten ourselves to a place where we are a bit more on top of things. We recovered from a dastardly blow, and at this point, I really think we need to be considering our next move. So I'll put that up to the thread. I thank you for watching as usual. I have remained Bacter, your constant companion. And heck, let's see if we can start uncovering some of the mysteries of this universe next time. Alright, bye.